Hey there, for anyone who happens to be tuning in. My name's Chris, and we are heading into session episode 14 here. It's been a little over a month since I last played. And a few thoughts I kind of wanted to share, or I kind of put out there for myself as well, as I've been a little hesitant to come back to this, and part of it just has to do with the enormous clusterfuck that was last session. Last session, the jump to hyperspace, I kind of made a bad choice, I think, when it came to a failure with the astrogation roll. It was definitely a clear failure, right? We had an astrogation roll trying to get to Bespin. We had 4 failures. I don't think that really matters so much, but it was a failure, absolutely, definitely a failure, with 2 advantage, and I think I kind of really went hard on the failure and less so on the advantage, because then we had basically the ship kind of coming out and diving right into the cloud giant of Bespin. I gave myself a bunch of very hard piloting rolls to try to gain control with my thought being that the penalty for that wasn't necessarily damage but critical hits. So we've lost the Nava computer, we got knocked off course, we got the shields failing when we kind of hit that an easy piloting roll trying to regain control, because now we're kind of knocked off course. We're diving deeper into the gas giant. Got control of the ship, great. Finally made the hard piloting roll, which was just not going well. So we took we took 3 critical hits. 3 critical hits just due to a poor astrogation roll. There was no advantage really to that whatsoever. No advantage. I had 2 advantages, nothing. So really I just kind of got screwed. So I really kind of want to be careful in the future as to how I deal with failed astrogation rolls. When I ran a short-lived game for a group, and we didn't really have a good astrogation-focused character on board. We had some failed astrogation rolls that just kind of got a little wild. And mostly I just kind of had them deal with ending up in way off course, or in the middle of nowhere, or something else kind of like that, which is probably what I should have done in this case. However, I believe I would have run out of fuel had I not decided on this. So, but whatever the case, it wasn't really all, the whole dealing with plummeting towards Bespin and making a bunch of piloting rolls, which I really wasn't suited to make. If we come back here, our piloting is okay. I mean, it's better than average, I guess, with 1 rank in it. But Jax is what I've really kind of what I've really learned is Jax is a low level kind of smuggler. He's probably only been going for a little while. This is probably how how everything got so screwed up with Gruck. If we come back here, Gruck, he owes 50,000 credits to. I'm thinking Gruck might have even been one of his, probably even his first client. And things went bad. All right, so he starts off his smuggling career with a ship, which we've never really kind of established how he got the ship or where he came up with the funds for it. Maybe that's part of why he owes Gruck. Whatever the case, he's he is early in his smuggling career. He is not doing well so far. He is up to his eyeballs in debt, and he's got, if we come over here, he now owes Black Sun kind of a favor. There's a bounty on him from the Hutts. He still has to deliver these guns. Professor Vexar is probably freaked the hell out after kind of dealing with what they just dealt with getting to Bespin, and he still has these highly illegal kyber crystals in his cargo hold, which only he and and Kay are really, really aware of. He's kept that very secret, secret as he can. Anyway, and as far as anyone on Tatooine is aware, because that was from the first scenario, the Tatooine job. The Nar Shaddaa job, which ended up on Tatooine. And he pissed off, Jabba the Hutt, and he made some enemies and not a ton of friends. Anyway, so I was a little loath to kind of come back to this, so I've been kind of dragging my heels a little bit. But I finally wanted to get through this. So I made a few decisions kind of as we were going here. Just because I don't want to deal with an entire session of him trying to get this damn thing fixed, I made an executive decision. One of the Camino squad is a mechanic. Now, these are all critical hits, nothing that's really just crazy, all things that can probably just have been kind of knocked out, right? So we're dealing with knocked off course, it's not a big deal. Critical hit, but it's not a big deal. Shields failing, shields can just be, repaired, dealt with. Maybe just, maybe they were just getting hit too hard by debris. Cool, no problem. A little recharge, they're good to go again, right? The Navicomputer failure, that's a bigger one. That was the very first fucking critical hit I had. With apologies, not a kid-friendly video, YouTube. No Navicomputer means not going anywhere. However, that could also mean something as simple as diving into the cloud giant of Bespin. They're getting hit by debris. He can't see very well. He's flying erratically. Things are going poor. He came out of hyperspace and just it was like as bad, if not worse, than in the original Star Wars, them coming out of hyperspace where Alderaan should have been, and they're now in what seems like a meteor shower, an asteroid field of some sort, right? But it's just the debris of what used to be Alderaan, and they're kind of fighting to make sure Han Solo's trying to make sure he's not hitting anything because he really wasn't expecting to come out in the middle of an asteroid field. Similar to that, Jax was unprepared for his, and Han Solo is a much, much more skilled smuggler and pilot than Jax is currently. So there we have it. We kind of have this. So a Navicomputer, we can have some cables kind of knocked off course. So that's kind of, knocked off course. Some cables that have just kind of come loose due to all the shuddering, jerking around, debris hitting the shields, although I believe, technically speaking, we only have shields in the front. Sorry, I think Roll20's changed a little bit again since I last checked it here. I believe our shields the arc is only in the fore. Oh, sorry, and in the aft. So, front and back shields. This thing is not exactly something built to handle very well. It's a YT-1300 freighter, not souped up like the Millennium Falcon is at all. This sucker still has its primary class hard drive of a 2, which is a pain in the ass to deal with. I'm going to try to deal with that and see what we can figure out. Because Jax does not want to be dealing with it. That is the first thing that needs to be upgraded. I don't care about anything else. As long as he's flying a damn ship, he needs a hyperdrive class 1. So anyway, I made some additional executive decisions here, and so what we're going to be doing, we're going to kind of start our scene. Landing bay on Cloud City. That's kind of what we're dealing with here for the beginning of episode 14. I'm not going to make a roll on this. I'm not going to test the scene. I suffered enough last time. I need this scene to go off. We're on a chaos factor of 8. The chances of this thing actually, getting steered off course is pretty great. And I need this scene to go smoothly. Now, I'm just going to kind of do a quick double check on my Destiny pool, which ended with a 0 for light and 1 for dark. I think a few episodes ago I decided every 10 episodes I would re-roll my my destiny pool, so we got quite a ways to go before I'm re-rolling a destiny pool. So we're still just dealing with 1 and 1, or 1 going back and forth kind of thing. And right now it's on the dark side. All right, as if we didn't already need enough, shit to deal with here. When we last left off here, we had also our last scene actually had to deal with this. Sorry, not the last few lines there, but this part, an interrupt scene with Endor Skyrider on Nar Shaddaa being attempting to be drafted into the last one he is now on Tatooine, and Andor's been taken by Jabba's men at gunpoint, and he's been Jabba's pretty much given him a choice, or more or less kind of a bit press ganged him into bringing Jax in because Jabba wants him. That bounty may not be a huge bounty yet, but there is a bounty on Jax's head, and Jabba just wants to kind of nip that in the bud right away, right? And he knows Andor was connected to him. Although I think we'd figured out that Jabba does not know Andor was connected to the theft of the Kyber crystals. There were 3 guys that they attacked and took him from, 2 of which didn't make it out. And the other one was unconscious pretty much the whole time. Probably didn't see what was going on at the door. Probably didn't see Andor, so there was no reason to report. That's assuming he's alive. Jabba doesn't deal well with failure, right? All right, we're dropping into Spaceport 12, and that's what we kind of got. We're cleared for landing by the Cloud City guards. Not entirely sure what they call their spaceport or their guards and such. Doesn't really matter. And I decided randomly, kind of from the 3 troopers, we got Camino Squad, which we've only dealt with Zai for the most part here. The others are, of course, they're all clones, right? They're all old clone troopers from the Clone Wars, now operating kind of within the realm of the different insurrectionists, the different elements of rebellion that are out there. Again, we're still a few years away from the actual call for rebellion by Mon Mothma. So I decided out of the 3 troopers, one of them would be a mechanic, so they're going to fix the little issues Jax has brought upon them. So the landing bay at Cloud City, Jax has put the ship down, and Captain Zai has taken him aside to have a bit of a word. Mate, you sure you can pull this off? Look, we had a little bit of bad luck. It's not. I do apologize. It won't happen again. Just a little bit of bad luck. We made a slight error on our astrogation. We came out of hyperspace a little too late. Yeah, no, I understand. But you sure you're gonna be able to make this drop? As soon as I get the damn ship fixed, yeah, we'll be good. Yeah, maybe we can help there. Yeah, Elisar was a top-notch mechanic back in the old squad, back in the Clone Wars. I think he could probably take a look and maybe get the ship going again. My accents always need work. So, to speed things along here, the scene continues really with Elisar being brought in, and we kind of have a little bit of a montage type of thing, of him kind of crawling underneath the dash of the driftwood, him kind of pulling wires out, him recalibrating the shield sitting up on top of the next to the deflector shield. The real question is how long are we going to be stuck here? Also, as this continues, we also kind of deal with Professor Vexar. who finally kind of, everyone's now kind of left, exited the ship here, and they're kind of talking in the spaceport, like on the landing pad. The way Cloud City is, this one kind of looks out over, and they can, if they step too close to the edge, they can look right down into the Tabana gas mines of Bespin and such, right? They can kind of see the cloud giant far, far below Cloud City. But Jax isn't doing that. He's kind of talking to LSR and Zai about fixing the ship, and LSR seems very convinced that it shouldn't be a problem. He thinks he knows where the issues are going to be. He's seen this kind of thing happen before. Not in some time, and certainly not with a smuggler, but, he figures he can probably fix it. So here we go. How long is it going to take here? So, can he fix it? Can he fix it within 3 days? We're on a chaos factor of 8. I'm just going to call it 50-50 because I really don't know. Roll the dice. 19 is, yes. So it's 3 days to get everything going. Alistar's able to do so, I'm going to say, with some help from Cash Porel and Jax. It's Jax's ship. He's going to have to be sticking around and helping. As they're kind of talking about this, and Alistar's kind of taking an initial look on he thinks that we can kind of be back up in the air, back in hyperspace in a matter of days. Professor Vexar is kind of standing a little nervous off to the side, and finally, when Alistar kind of Alistar and Zai break from their discussion with Jax, the professor kind of looks and says, a word, Captain, please, Captain, a word. And Jax goes over, kind of starting, figuring he knows what he's about to hear, and he's like, I know about the hyperspace. Yes, it's definitely a little unnerving. Captain, I do appreciate the ride and the lift off of Tatooine. It seemed that things were not going to be going well for me there. I don't even have a proper shirt, but you know what I mean. So, but I do believe we should talk about what I owe you so far. And Jax goes, well, let's see, it's 18 days, 3,600 credits. You're welcome to stay on board longer if you'd like. There's the question. Is he freaked out enough that he wants off the ship? I'm thinking it's likely. But right now he's also on Cloud City. So does he want off at Cloud City? He could probably grab transport. I'm going to say likely. So again, we're at a chaos factor of 8 here, which is kind of insane. Is Professor Vexar looking to depart? Pay his fare and depart. 8. Oh, fuck yeah. Hell yes. Yes, Vexar is absolutely done with all of this. He's had cramped quarters. He's had a bunch of insurrectionists talking about gun running. He's learned about way too much about this kind of work. He also has probably heard that now there's a bounty on Jax's head. Jax is aware of this, right? So he's probably overheard some discussion, knows that there's a bounty on his head, knows things are in dire straits, and the near crash into the Bespin gas giant there is probably enough. So he's, yes, I would very much like to pay my fare, Captain, and I believe I will. No offense, of course, but I believe I will organize my organize my own ride, possibly using public transport. We are in Bespin. There's enough to public transportation to go through. Yes, no, I understand, Professor. Look, due to the last issue, why don't we call it 3,000 credits? Okay, we'll call it 3,000 credits, and we'll call it even. All right, is he gonna be okay with that? We'll just call it 50-50. Yeah, no, 57. 85 right now is for a yes on 85 or less for a yes on a 50-50, a chaos factor of 8. Yeah, yes, that will be just fine. I can pay you immediately. I just need to get some traveling cash, some traveling credits. All right, so I'm just gonna make some notes here. Okay, so again, all of these videos really are just for me. So anybody who is paying attention and watching these, with apologies, I just have to quickly check something here. I'll apologize. Yeah, it's you're watching my process, really. Okay, Vexar goes off to get his quote-unquote traveling credits and returns to pay Jax. Cool, no problem. So, we're going to pop over to Jax here. We're going to deal with our credit log because that's going to add 3,000 credits. Payment from... how are we calling all this? My brain is a little fuzzy, I guess. How did I figure all this again? Oh, I can't remember. Yes. Alright. So that's pretty good. That puts Jax up to a little over 9,000 credits in his possession. Now, what does it cost for a hyperdrive upgrade? Didn't we figure this out? And it wasn't as ridiculous as I thought. Modifications. Here we go. So the hyperdrive. Yeah, here we go. Hyperdrive generator. So we got an upgraded hyperdrive generators increases vessel's speed through hyperspace. Yes. Models include that include the models base modifiers reduces hyperdrive class by 1 to a minimum of 1. That's great. So 6,400 credits. Yeah. So 6,400 credits will do it. I'm just going to leave that open for now. That's within the realm of possibility here. So Jax goes and spends a little bit of time. We're just kind of continuing this as one general scene. So Jax is going to spend a little bit of time in Cloud City kind of wheeling and dealing. So we kind of go through the montage a little bit again while, with LSR, crawling under, pulling cables, pulling wires, making repairs while Jax is out kind of, wheeling and dealing and trying to see if we can get a hyperdrive there we go, upgrade. Can it be done within those 3 days? I don't know. I'm going to call it 50-50. 54, which with the chaos factor of 8, that helps us a lot. There's a mechanics shop that or a mechanic that says, yep, they can absolutely install the new hyperdrive before Jax is scheduled to leave in 3 days. Cool. All right, Jax is going to be paying for that, so let's deal with that. Bingo! There we go. Hyperdrive Class 1 upgrade. Now we got some other issues to deal with here because we also have some other expenses, but we're definitely doing that. So, we need to pop over here and take a look at the driftwood because we need to restock. Let me see here. I need, not my cheat sheet. What do I need here? I need my operational costs document. That's what I need. Pretty sure that's what I need here. Alright, because we need to bump our consumable. We need to replenish consumables, and we definitely need to charge up our fuel cells here. Here we go. So, I believe we've kind of come to decision. Yep. Cloud City Spaceport is a grade 3. What do we got here? Okay, that is kind of what we're looking at here for our scene summary. Cool. That's awesome. What are we doing here? So we're going to pop back here. We need to figure out some quick costs. So we need 49 fuel cells. On a grade 3, fuel cells are going to be 20 to 25 credits. Are they 25 credits? Yes. I just kind of, I rolled 17 and I decided with just a 50-50, which in this case probably did not help. Okay, we're going to need to pop that up to our 50 again, so we're at 49 credits times 25 is 1,225 credits. So Jax is going to be almost broke again by the time we get the hell out of here. Actually, we'll just call that refueling on Cloud City. What about consumables? What are we dealing with? 15 credits apiece. So what do we got here? We need okay, we have actually run completely out. So 2 months worth is, let's say, 60 days worth. 15 credits apiece, it's 900. Okay, we're gonna go back to our 60 days worth. We're gonna come over here. We're going to drop 900 credits. Consumables. Quickly running out of money again. Now the unfortunate thing here is we're going to be dealing with a docking fee for 3 days. We're going to be dealing with a docking fee of 150 credits. Boom! There you go. And Jax is just about broke again. Okay. But we have a new, let's make sure that's upgraded here. So we now have a hyperdrive at the top of its game. So we had a nice new, shiny, nice new hyperdrive in there. We're all good to go. We have, we're fully supplied again. We're fully refueled. Yeah, that's like things could be looking good here. That's awesome. All right. Cool. Alright, let's kind of do this. We're going to move on to our next scene. I'm gonna say Jax seemed fair, like that things went fairly well there. Jax, I think, was kind of in control. So for scene 20, chaos factor, we're gonna drop to a chaos factor of 7, kind of to bring things around again here. Our scene summary. Okay, so back to Mythic. So what's our next scene here? Our next scene is probably launching back into hyperspace, and probably another kind of montage, but a little bit of a montage scene of travel. So let's call it travel to Endor. Now we're on a hyperdrive class 1. That's fucking awesome. Cool. Okay, so let's see here. So what do we got? We're here at Bespin. We need to get to Endor. So things are going to be a little bit different. So let's do our campaign important things here. This is where we kind of he's out. So 12 hours times hyperclass per square moved on a major hyperspace lane. We're going to be mostly moving on a minor side, so it's a day per, but no multiplier this time. We're just going to kind of zoom in here. So we got here 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days to Endor. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay, 4 days to Endor. That's cool. All right, and I believe it was. How did we figure this again? Was it every 6 hours? Why didn't I make note of this somewhere? Pretty sure I did somewhere here. There we go. That's our travel time. Alright, let's deal with this right now. Back to my operational costs here. Expenditure of fuel cells. I'm pretty sure it was for every... I think I figured it out at 6 hours, but actually there was a table here somewhere I had. Here we go. So, just to kind of calculate things, so it's 9 hours in hyperspace. So for the deal of 4 days, so we're going to deal with 11 fuel cells to get to Endor. Alright, cool. So let's bring up the driftwood again. Alright. We're going to expend some fuel cells here. 11 fuel cells, so it's 1 for entering, one per hyperspace jump and one per 9 hours in hyperspace. No problem. And then we're also going to deal with 4 days of supplies here. All right. 4 days of consumables. Okay. This is kind of what we're dealing with. Once again, I don't think I'm gonna feel like dealing with. Should we test the scene? All right, let's test the scene. 10. No, the scene will go off as expected. That's good. There's a bit of a montage, so after 3 days with a brand new shiny hyperdrive and everything back in working order, including the shields and the Navi computer, there's Jack sitting in the cockpit with Kay beside him, and Captain Zybe, just kind of standing behind him, watching over his shoulder out towards Cloud City. And Jax goes, "All right, let's make our way to our drop-off point," and he kind of brings the ship up and heads off away from Cloud City. And Bespin, thankful to be away from the Cloud Giant, now generating some bad memories. And within a few moments, they've set their course. Here we go. They've set their course. He's gonna take his time. In fact, Zai's gonna help him. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a blue die to go along with everything else here. So, because what we're looking at here for astrogation. All right, let's go to our astrogation skill here. All right, astrogation. Now, we're not far. This is along minor trade routes. We're going to call it a. So it's not an easy check because it's not exactly the most established of routes. So we're going to make it 2 purple here is kind of an average difficulty. And Jax, for his astrogation, is dealing with one yellow, 1 green, Captain Zai's help, and 2 purple. All right. All right, and we'll roll the dice and see if everything goes as planned. I don't know what it is about this thing, but we're going to end up with 2 advantage, but an actual failure. We got 1 success and one failure that canceled them out. Failure, 2 advantage though, and the way we're going to play this out, we're not going to do the craziness of last time, is that it's going to take an extra 25% longer. Which is 5 days to Endor instead. So we're going to just kind of deal with this. Oops, sorry, I think I can. So that was what our expectation was. So 5 days to Endor instead. So we're going to go through an additional day's worth of consumables on board. Oops. Sorry, that's our fuel cells, not our consumables. Deal with the consumables, an additional day of consumables, and instead. Alright, so instead, let's. Wait, what? Um, 13, so 14 fuel cells in total. I don't do math very well in my head sometimes, and today's one of those days. So 14 fuel cells, 5 days of rations. 5 days of consumables, I should say. And it just takes a bit longer. Jack's kind of, his astrogation is still not spot on, and his, even with Zai's help, he kind of makes a couple little miscalculations. But after 5 days, a little later than expected, we move this down to Endor. And Jack's, no one, basically kind of sits down in the cockpit. He's chatting with Zai, who's kind of, hanging out there. The other Camino Squad guys are somewhere in the back, just with their feet up, checking to make sure everything's good to go. And Jax reaches over, grabs the throttle mechanism for the hyperdrive and pulls, pushes it forward or pulls back on it. I think he pulls back on it the way it works in Star Wars, and the hyperspace tunnel kind of goes from that to white streaks lines to stars, and ahead a blue-green, a very green and lush planet. Cool. We're gonna be moving ahead here again. I think Jax was fairly in control there, so we're going to drop the chaos factor just a little bit more here. Where are we here? Okay. So we're going to drop that chaos factor. Let me just go to here. We're going to call that a 6. Copy a few things over. 6. Don't necessarily need some of this other stuff here. And 27. There's our expected scene. At a chaos factor of 6, let's test that. 10 again. No, good. We're actually going to go ahead as expected. They are going to. Now, are they actually on Endor? I'm thinking maybe not. What we're probably dealing with is a ship of some sort. So I'm thinking they're probably, in orbit around the forest moon of Endor. Nobody's probably actually, landing on Endor, or maybe they are. Let's let our fate chart decide here. Are we expected to land on Endor? 50-50 at a chaos factor of 6. 79. No, we're not. Instead, as they come out of hyperspace, they see the planet ahead, and Jax's systems go off, beep, 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 and he looks over and taps a button and the beeping stops. We're picking up on another ship. And coming into view, heading, kind of, he can see some distance away that, there's another ship near the forest moon. And Zai goes, yeah, that'll be our buyers. All right, he's like, this is your this is your cargo, Zai. Maybe you should contact them. And Jax reaches up and taps the little hail button. Beep. This is the Driftwood contacting unidentified ship circling the planet of Endor. We he pauses. He goes, confirm meeting with K Squad. Captain Zai kind of looks down at him and goes, yeah, that'll do. A second later, okay, did they respond? I'm thinking it's very likely that, nearly certain they respond. 95. No, they don't. Sorry, that should be ship. So why don't they receive a response? So Jax hails them again. Beep beep. Yeah. Once again, unidentified ship. This is the Driftwood. Confirm meeting with K Squad. Out. Over. Over and out. Over. I'm gonna say no. We still got an issue. There's nothing. There's no response. All right, that kind of maybe changes things here. How does that change things? We need to figure out kind of what the deal is. So I'm just gonna call it. Why don't we kind of go to our meaning tables here? Let me just see if there's anything that might really work well here. Plot twists. Plot twists. Maybe. So I think another thing we got here is I recently purchased a bunch of the Book of Random tables, particularly the sci-fi ones, and I wanted to kind of, maybe there are some things we can use in here. Let me see here. Thinking maybe this isn't going to help so much. Lots of good tables here, but not necessarily anything that's going to help me at the moment. So instead, spacefaring complications. Okay, let's try rolling on the spacefaring complications chart. I don't know whether I'll use it. We're just going to see what comes up. 17. The vessel's crew is locked out of the main computer. That actually does make sense. Oops. I like that. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. So, Jax pilots the Driftwood closer. And Zai's going, I don't understand. They should have responded by now. Jax goes, let's just take it in a little closer. He grabs the yoke. He's like, okay, buckle up. He looks up at him. Buckle up. We don't know what we're going up against here. Shields up. Kay kind of before buckling up, kind of reaches over and slaps a button. Pew! And that kind of activates the deflector shields. And then she throws herself back in the chair and reaches up, pulls basically pulls kind of like a seatbelt down and clicks it in place. Something Jax probably has just for her, because she's not used to this. But I would think there probably is some kind of a seatbelt whenever they're needed. If you get into something tricky, you probably have the pilots have something to kind of keep themselves secure to their chairs here. So Jax kind of comes up closer. Okay, so are they still alive? It says the vessel's crew is locked out of the main computer. I'm gonna say, so we're gonna kind of pop away from here. We're gonna go back to our fate charts. Oops, back to the fate chart. Back to the fate chart. Are they still alive? I'm saying that is certain. 73. Yeah, I would need a 100. So as they get nearer, so as he brings the driftwood closer, what kind of ship are we talking about here? Is it what do we have for ships? We got I'm going to say it's probably not a YT 1300. It's too easy, but it's probably another cargo ship of some sort of freighter. It's kind of so let's do that first. Is it a freighter? I'm gonna say it's very likely. We're at chaos factor at 6. 97. No, it's not a freighter. I would say then the next most logical thing is it's probably a military. Not really a combat ship, but more like a people mover. Trying to see if there's a. Alright, we're not dealing with a transport ship. Not going to be a capital ship. That's too big. It's. Not a starfighter. Personnel carrier. Yeah, that's okay. That's what we're kind of looking. So it's what do we have here? We got a. Yeah, but personnel carrier ship. I know in the book there's a personnel carrier, more for land-based. But in this case, what we're talking about is kind of like a boxy, boxy ship, multiple entrances, or some limited firearms, some limited blasters and shields. There we go. But lots of space, right? Or cargo, yeah. So there's a somebody's kind of waving frantically at Jax as he gets closer. And Zai kind of takes a look. That's our man. That's our man. That's somebody. Captain. We need a name. And oddly enough, I have random name generators also within the... Male or female? So is it male? 50-50. Yes. 19. Yes. Male. Is it a human pilot? 50-50. 93 is a no, it's not human. We're going to go with a Twi'lek pilot. I think that's probably what we're dealing with here. A female Twi'lek pilot. We need a Twi'lek name. That's... let's see here. Well, let's just use a random generator here for our female name. This is actually for human, so if we don't like it, we're just going to move it. 77. That makes no sense. Sarah. No. Although it could if we maybe modify it. Captain Sarah. What would be in here? Let's make it number 2. 18. Alright. Kirthi. Sarah Kirthi. There we go. And she's a green skin. Actually, we're going to go with the green skin, but we're going to try to figure out a little bit more about her using Yoon. Find out a couple modifiers here. So she's a 23. Logical. $83. The surf makes no sense whatsoever. 11. Drifter. Logical drifter. Sure. Nah, drifter doesn't make any sense. We're going to go with former smuggler. That kind of makes a little more sense here. Power level. What we got here? We got standard. We got 90. That puts her slightly stronger than Jax. That makes her like fairly adept at what she does. More adept than Jax, anyway. Zai's got, I don't know what the issue is here. She should have. I don't know. She's not responding. She must be. Their communications must be down, or the ship must be down. Jax looks over. He's like, I can see lights. They got power. So we're gonna have to go check this out ourselves, I think. So not a problem. So Jax, we're gonna probably finish things up here after this scene. Jax, the guys kind of get rebreathers ready, to or basically kind of like oxygen, or air masks, kind of like the little portable ones with the little portable, highly compressed tanks that are in Empire Strikes Back. They get those on, and Jax isn't going out there. There's no bloody way. Jax, on the other hand, is going to be staying perfectly safe and sound within the driftwood. But these guys are going to go, and they're going to go. See if we kind of come over here. We bring up the driftwood here. We've got our docking rings, which these are sealable, boarding ramps, this kind of thing. They can go out here, either here or here. So they're going to slip out into space. The entirety of Camino Squad. Try that again. Camino Squad. And Jax watches them. They kind of go out into space, push themselves off the driftwood hull, over to the other ship. What the hell's the other ship called? I think there is something over here that we can use for ship names. Do we have ship names? I'm pretty sure we've got ship names. Nope, those are people names. I need planet names. No. Alien names. There's got to be ship names. I know I had ship names here somewhere. Ship names. We'll use table number 1 here. Just roll 48. Okay. It's called the Elignac. Elignac? Yeah. The Elignac. Elignac. Okay. I'm just going to go with that's going to be our pronunciation. And are received into their airlocks. Camino Squad has brought communicators with them, and after a couple of minutes after they've been inside, Zai, uses his communicator. Hey, Captain. We figured out what the problem is. It's going to take a few hours. They're locked out of the main computer. They've had some issues. All is well though here. You just hang tight. Okay, so there we go. Camino Squad. Here, so we got. So how many hours are we taking here? 5 hours? Is it 5 hours? Let's say it's either 5 or double that. So let's get back to here. So 5 hours, I'm going to go with 50-50. 59. The chaos factor is 6 is yes. 5 hours for... So Jax and Kay just kind of cool it while Camino Squad is on board the Elignac, fixing the issue. And after 5 hours, finally we get we get the sense that yes, things are finally fixed. The crew is now able to communicate, and Captain Kirthi is able to communicate with the driftwood. This is Captain of the Elignac. Just wanted to say that we are up and prepared to receive your cargo. Thank you for your patience, and thank you to K-Squad for helping us out here. Jax hits the communicator. Not a problem. My co-pilot and I have just been cooling our heels and enjoying the view of this, well, beautiful planet. It's very green. It looks very lush. She's like, we chose this place because it's a little out of the way, and there's almost no traffic that goes through this part of the system. Jax kind of looks out again. He goes, "That's kind of a shame." And beside him is Kay sitting there, looking kind of a little forlornly at the planet. Kay knows. I think Kay knows where they are. However, we're going to return to all of this. Sorry, was I doing Chaos? No, Chaos Factor 6. That's right. We're going to kind of come back to this next time, and so we're going to end right here, and I'm just going to set up for hoping we can kind of do one more before we kind of get to the end of the year. So we'll be looking forward to scene 27, I believe. Okay, why does that say scene 27? Oh, sorry, I know what the problem is. No, that's looks right. 24, 25, 26. I think I missed a scene somewhere, or I skipped ahead. Oh, I see what happened. We've I've been doubling up. Alright, doubled up scene 24, so we're gonna do this. So scene 27, yes. Our next scene for episode 15 will be scene 28, which hopefully is transferring the cargo. And I believe we're going to be bumping ourselves down to a chaos factor of 5. We were fairly in control there. Things are looking pretty good. Over here, can add the Alignat crew here, but we got a couple more things just to settle up here. So we're just going to grab our obligation roll here. Not sure why I just did that, because it would be just as easy to punch it in. And our obligation roll. So, checking out Jax. At this point, we have a 0 to 30. We're going to make a roll. 30 even. Yeah! That means we're going to be dealing finally with some obligation stuff. Okay, so. Yes. And it means it's also going to be the last one. It means the bounty will have to come into play somehow next time. Alright. That kind of got things a little bit more on track. I think maybe a little too easy in some ways, but I don't know. I need to stop worrying about whether I'm being too easy on Jax, because generally speaking, I am not. I'm being way too hard on Jax. I know what I'd like to kind of see is that maybe we land on Endor for some reason next time. Kay knows where they are. You know, I should make a note of that. Don't worry about that. Okay. Next time we'll deal with transferring the cargo, hopefully. Although we're going to have something to do with the bounty. At the very least, that will decrease Jax's strain threshold by 1 or 2. I have to double check that. Anyway, we're going to call things right there. We're a little over an hour in, so if you are watching, thanks for watching. Again, this is mostly for me, so the technical capabilities and the complete lack of editing are probably don't make this to be the most interesting thing to watch. But take it easy, and may the Force be with you.